What's up, VC? What's up, Vinyl community? It's Dan hanging out with you for Dan's Vinyl Channel. How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a great start to your weekend. I know I am. It's Friday, off of work. Very excited about this. Very, very excited about this. I've got half a day off tomorrow, so I'm thrilled. So anyway, what I wanted to do is, I haven't done one of these in a while, which is a Vinyl Finds video. And I wanted to do a Vinyl Finds video on the rock and the metal that I've found. Because I've been showing a lot of synth pop, a lot of pop music, a lot of, your other stuff. So it's time to get into some rock and metal. I got some cool stuff here that I haven't shown yet. I may have shown one of these or two of these like in a contest video, but I haven't actually like talked about it. So anyway, with no further ado at all, let's dive into some rock and metal, okay? All right, we're going to start from the bottom. I went to a record show. Sorry about that. I went to a record show in St. Louis on September 8th. My gosh, it's been like almost a month ago already. And I didn't have this album, and I saw it for $10, and it was in really good shape. It's from a seller there called Wax Time Records. And this guy was so good. He had like detailed notes of every single album. So he was talking about surface noise, crackle, all kinds of stuff, and his prices were so decent. And I finally got a hold of Van Halen 1. Now, this is an important record, guys. I mean, nobody had done what Eddie had done on this record yet in rock music. I mean, as a guitar player, it's a very exciting record, man. It just gets that nice saturation, that brown sound. This is an original 1978 pressing of this. So I was very satisfied with finding this in such good shape, and it sounds incredible. It's a great album to have, and it's one that I just hadn't had yet. And it was from that seller, Wax Time Records. Now, I don't know where that guy's from. He might just be a show circuit kind of guy. So if you're in a show in the Midwest and you see some Wax Time Records, check that guy's booth out because he just really had some incredible stuff. I had another buy from him as well that I was really, really happy with. All right, and I'm not sure if it's right here. So while we're on Wax Time, let's go ahead and talk about this one. Now here's another one. This is crazy, guys, because this is the only album I have by these guys. I used to have CDs by them. You know, every once in a while, a goatee hair will get stuck in this thing. Anyway, so yeah, this is the only record I have by these guys, and it's the first time that I've picked up one. And I was really excited to have this one on vinyl, and that's Pink Floyd's Animals. So this has always been something that I stream, something that I listen to is, like Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall. These are all the albums that I really dig by Pink Floyd, so it's really nice to have this on wax. Picked this up for $10 too from Wax Time. It's got some issues, it's got some ring wear, but all in all, it's not in bad shape at all. It's actually in pretty good shape, and it sounds good. It's got some crackle, it's got some pop, it's got some hiss, but it's in a good way. So, it's a great placeholder, and even if I never find another copy, I'm plenty happy with it. So, Pink Floyd's Animals, very happy to see that. I saw Roger Waters. Was that back in 2017? I saw Roger Waters in St. Louis. It was an amazing show. Great stuff. Going to the dollar bin here on this one. Actually, the quarter bin. So at my favorite record store, In the Groove Records in Jeff City, this was in the quarter bin. And it was in almost perfect condition. That's Nazareth's Hot Tracks. Now, Nazareth was on a tape that I taped off of KC 95 Monday Night Metal. Now, I don't know if you guys, if any of you around the St. Louis area are aware of Monday Night Metal on KC 95. It was a show done by Radio Rich, who is now, he's a disc jock, he's a morning show jock at Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. But he would do a show called Monday Night Metal, and it was on Tuesday nights. And I heard, this is the first Nazareth song I heard. It was not Love Hurts. It was not Hair of the Dog. It was actually Razzmatazz, which is on this record, and it's the only Nazareth record that I have. So I'm really happy with it. I got it for $25, and it's in almost perfect condition. So, it's not quite perfect, but little imperfections don't bother me none. And I like comps, so I was very excited to see that. And check out the cover of that. It's pretty cool. I love Nazareth's artwork. You can always count on some really, really cool artwork from them. All right, moving right along. We'll keep in the kind of classic rock thing that we've got going on here. This is the first album by these guys, and what's funny is that I've heard a lot of these songs. I just never knew who it was. I always assumed it was Boston. A lot of people say when they hear this band, they think a lot of Rush. And that's Triumph, and the name of the album is Just a Game. But a lot of people say they hear Rush when they hear Triumph. I hear a lot of Boston going on here. I actually thought Laying on the Line was a Boston song. So that's on here, and it's got the permanent Super Saver sticker there. So that was like actually printed on the record. So it's kind of an odd thing, but very cool cover. Check out those dudes. Very cool cover, kind of Boston-esque cover. So I think that Boston was a huge influence on these guys, and I hear a lot of Boston. I really dig the stuff that I do hear, and I've listened to this album once, and I really liked it. I haven't had a chance much to really dive in and do a deep dive into Triumph yet, but $5, why not? All right, let's get on a little heavier metal maybe, but not too heavy. As we go into, and I know I showed this in a video for a contest entry, and this might have been in, I want to say Brendan Van D's contest entry. This Faster Pussycat, Wake Me When It's Over, white label promo record that I picked up at a place called Angelo's CDs and More in Denver in July when we went to Denver. And this was a free album. There was they were having a sale. It was like buy 3 get 1 free, and I picked this one up. This was the free record. I had completely missed it. And lady behind the counter's like, "You got 3 records, 3 used records. Do you want to go get another one for free?" And I'm like, "Yes." So I go downstairs and bam, right there, sticking right out. I don't know if somebody had just put it in. I don't know how I missed it, but Faster Pussycats, Wake Me When It's Over. This had their big, I guess it was a big single, maybe. It was big in the group of guys that I hung out with, and that was House of Pain. So is on this record, as well as Poison Ivy. It's a cool song. Cool. It's, it's got some damage to it, and it's a shame what happened to it, but Faster Pussycats, Wake Me When It's Over. Keeping in the hair metal tradition, moving right along with one of my favorite hair metal bands of the 80s, and that's White Lion, Big Game. Little Fighter on this record. That's the only real song that I knew off of it when I bought it. I've listened to it through a couple of times. Sounds great. Vito Bratta is an awesome guitar player. Love hearing his stuff. This must have been a radio station guy that owned these few records that I bought from Angelo's. This is one of in that. I gave $14 for like 3 records. I forget what the other one was. I think it might have been like Mr. or something. And then they had this White Lion, Big Game. So yeah, it's got the when you play it, say it sticker on it right there. So yeah, that's definitely a radio thing. They want you to say it when you play it. Well, that's White Lion with Little Fighter right here on Y107. So, yeah, that's on the Atlantic label. It's not a white label promo or anything. White Lion, Big Game, big cool record there. Very happy to have that one. Moving on, I think I showed this in Ron Haggerty's Sevens contest video, but I haven't done it in a Fines video yet, and that is Stryper's In God We Trust. Now, I'm a huge Stryper fan. Guys, love Stryper. This is a great album by Stryper. It was a little overproduced, and there's a lot of high end on this record, a lot of reverb on this record, but a lot of fun on here. Of course, the title track, In God We Trust, is on here. Always There For You is on here. My favorite song by Stryper is actually on this record, and that's called The Rain, and it's the last track on the record. So I was very excited to find this. You just don't see Stryper records too often. You see them more often than other type stuff. They were a pretty huge selling band, but around here you just don't see it. So Stripers, not to hell with the devil, but In God We Trust right here. Pick this one up. I think I gave going rate for it. I think it was like $14 or something like that. But it's in great shape. Sounds fantastic. Just could use a little mix on it. Maybe another mastering would help that album. But you know what? That's how it goes. 80s, man. It was totally about that production value, that high end. They wanted that high end. They wanted that reverb, Moving right along, and I forgot one of the more rock and roll records that I picked up, and this is a fun album. Always love some Night Ranger, yeah, and especially the cover on this one, which I don't know if you guys have never seen this cover. Let's just go ahead and show it to you. We got all kinds of stuff going on here. We have a spaceman in the band. We have a surgeon in the band. There's a woman of the night. There's I want to say a dude playing an accordion. No. What is this guy? Is this like a vampire or something right here? I don't know. And there's like a dude with a scimitar there. And there's like let me see, a construction guy breaking into a window. I have no idea what's going on in this album cover, but it's a lot of fun. Night Ranger. This has You Could Still Rock in America on it, and of course the classic Sister Christian. Me being a movie fan, every time I hear Sister Christian, I'm reminded of an amazing scene in a P.T. Anderson movie called Boogie Nights, where Mark Wahlberg's character is selling some fake cocaine, and this drug dealer is absolutely insane. There's this kid who's running around lighting firecrackers. Sister Christian's playing. Amazing part of that movie. You guys, if you haven't seen Boogie Nights, check it out. I know Mark Wahlberg is not, considered the best A-list actor. Well, he's an A-list actor, but he's not, this dude isn't taking home any Academy Awards for anything that he's done lately. But in Boogie Nights, one hell of a performance, if you haven't seen it. And this album always takes me back to that very uncomfortable moment in that movie. So, Night Ranger's self-titled album. And there's just a, huge party going on in the back here. I mean, there's another astronaut in here. There's just all kinds of stuff going on here. There's a football guy. I have no idea what's going on in this. I'll just show this to you. And there's a cactus there, right in the middle of the city. I guess this is New Mexico, maybe? Anyway, Night Ranger. All right, last but certainly not least, I finally finished my 1980s Judas Priest OG presses collection. So I've been on this thing where it's just like I just want the OG presses of the Judas Priest albums. And I found the missing link from my 1980s collection of Judas Priest. And that is Defenders of the Faith. Best thing about this, it was $7. Additional cool thing about this, I found this at Vintage Vinyl. This is a Halen pressing. So it's got that kind of flimsier cover, but intact, beautiful, beautiful color. Look at that. Inner sleeve. Amazing stuff. Just an awesome record. Defenders of the Faith. You Judas Priest fans know. So I'm not sure how I even found this. This was at Vintage Vinyl in St. Louis, and I was stunned. $7 for this, and it's in really, really good condition. So very happy to have this on the CBS label. These Halen pressings, this is the second Halen pressing that I've had. The first one I gave was a Black Sabbath record. It was their greatest hits. I gave that away in a VCLT, and it sounded really good, and this one does not let down either. So these Halen presses are just really, really nice. So Judas Priest, Defenders of the Faith there. So just wanted to run down some rock and metal for you guys. I'm still working on a 5 synth pop records that you should own. I know that's a strange thing to mention after just showing some Judas Priest, but I am into everything almost. Synth pop has definitely been something that I've just really been digging some synth pop lately. I don't know what it is. So anyway, you guys take it easy. Have a great weekend. You guys keep digging them Rekkids, all right? Peace out, guys. You have a good one. Take care. Be excellent to each other. And we'll see you guys later.